So this is old technology, right? And Esau made, oh wow, 4K, 8K, all that. Well, the Most High already had it past that. Because you didn't have, you don't have a limit on the Most High's technology back then. There was no limit. It's limitless. Whatever the Most High showed you is, you know, if it was up to him and between you, that was it. Right? He showed you as enough you could discern. If it was too much, you would throw up or whatever. But that's how things were back then, right?
And the Most High showed Moses the end. What do you see on Esau's TV? Just fictional bullshit, man. You know?
That's beautiful because from I've been growing up, I've been hearing this, but this is the best way it's been broken down, right, for the men of the Lord. Because tell thy vision, right, this is that last tool that he's going to use. That's the tool that the brother just talked about.
Witchcraft.
Yes, it was always a tool, but this is the main one, right? There's many more. I mentioned a few weeks back about Big Brother, that Big Brother system, which is part of that same tool, right? That he's working with the Lord's substance in the twist.
On the left-hand side.
Left-hand side.
He's using it in wickedness. Because all of this is, it's all the Wizard of the Oz, man. Like I had to explain to the brothers the other day, all of this is just belling the dragon over again.
Wow.
Esau pushing his deception, and the brother just mentioned perfect phrase. I mean, what it is telling you it's television, but it's tell-lie vision, right? So it's belling the dragon, which is a perfect description of what you want to get into. You read that, it'll blow your mind, right? And it's nothing but Wizard of the Oz, where this little midget guy is behind the curtains.
Is this the man? I was waiting for it. I was saying, is this the man? I was waiting for it.
That's the spirit.
That's it. Let's come back. Is this the man? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
This is him doing it. He can talk all this nonsense. Oh, I got the quantum computer and all this, but it's this nigga inputting codes.
Hey, if you brothers could take a trip to Brooklyn, if the Lord could just drop you in Brooklyn where Amalek lived, you will not believe what you see. Because when I went there the first time, well, they brought me in there the first time to look at these people. I said, what? Is it? What? He said, yes,
man.
Hey, they look like that little wizard, that little freak, right? Because that's who you are. Hey, that's how the Lord made you, for a purpose. But you know what? In the regeneration, at least, when they get when they're going to go through their bitterness, they'll look a little better. Because
after I'm done with them.
Well, we're going to enjoy that. But go ahead, brother. I don't want to
recognize them. You know.
Like, what is that?
Anyway, let me finish the scripture real quick. Let me finish the end of this. It says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Yeah, he's a talebearer.
That's right.
Making up shit as he goes. Esau's just winging it in this society, man.
Yeah, you're right. That to break it down for newcomers, he's basically the guy the boy who cried wolf, right? Cried wolf and then goddamn lied, right? That's it. That's who he is. You had something still, or?
Yeah, I had Deuteronomy 32 and 32. Since you were talking about Esau, right, and our people love to follow him, right? The Most High made a separation from us, from Israel, to Esau. You know, they're a separate nation. One's playing the righteous, and one's playing the wicked. So the Most High tells you right this in Deuteronomy 22 and 32. For the vine is a vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah, their grapes are grapes of Gal, their clusters are bitter, their wine is a poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of asps. This is going into their damn philosophy.
That's
right? Their system,
their ideology, their ways of life.
Yeah,
it's backwards, and it's bad for you. It's a bad vibration, and it's not it's not the righteous path of life.
It's poison.
It's poison.
Yeah, that was it.
I have there's this word here for Esau in the Urban Dictionary. Online, Urban Dictionary, the word Esau, the greatest criminal ever to walk the earth.
Oh yeah.
Satan's incarnate.
Wow.
Wow.
Better known as the white man. Terms come from the biblical name for Caucasians.
Better known as the white man. So it's better just to be like, yo, that's the white man. You know?
So that's what it is. Like you're made bare, like the brothers brought up earlier. You had something for that?
Yeah.
Can I quote it? You hold that because the brother just mentioned something, and just for the young folks out there, and the apostles are always quickly telling us to to make sure we watch those movies. And this brother is always encouraging us to watch those movies to see the twist of this character. So when you hear it, so you just broke it down, but I want to say this real quick. So. Beware of the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among Yahweh's primates or beasts, he kills for sport, lust, or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours. Shun him, drive him back into his caves, for he is the harbinger of death. Esau, Cain, he is Edom. The revelation. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point with that. So yeah, that's who this beast man is. We've been warned of him. Right? He's our enemy, main enemy. All right.
Okay, so this is Genesis 4, sorry, 10. It says, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. So right there, that was when Cain killed Abel, and Yahweh Shah was asking, yo, what I deal with? You know what I mean? And verse 11 says, and now art thou accursed. So that we know that that same spirit that was in Cain is now in Esau, and the brother just played, excerpt, right? That couldn't have said any better, right? And now cursed from the earth, which is why earlier on we said his name, what it meant. Ashashua in the Hebrew, wasted away is he. So he's a cursed being, all right? Also, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. And we know it from in Numbers, it says the earth can't be clean unless the person who spilled the blood is spilt.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking for that scripture. What is that?
It's in Numbers.
Numbers, right?
So I'm going to jump down to 14. It says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond. So that word fugitive right there, it's a word that if someone is being sought by the police, they're gonna do everything to not be caught.
They're an outlaw.
They're an outlaw, and their back is on the wall. So if he knows that you're finding him out, guess what? His guns are blazing because he doesn't want to get caught. Right? But now the Most has put a spirit on us to expose him.
Right.
And he's just changing laws now to shut us up. That's why you have YouTube shutting down and people go from WhatsApp to Telegram and all, Signal, all this stuff. That's because of us. It's nothing else. Because we're making him bare. Right? This fugitive and a vagabond. Right? In the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So right now, we're not slaying you physically, but we're telling you it's coming. Right? In Jeremiah 51 says, with thee will I break the nation, and with thee, right? And it's speaking of the Israelites. But for now, we're just making you bare by using the scriptures, right? Because the weapon is not carnal, right? It's a spiritual battle for now. Okay, so we're making this fugitive and this vagabond bare, man, and everyone can see who he is. Okay?
But brother, also too, it said his face
God.
shall be hidden as well.
God.
And it shows you as well, Esau knows that the Lord ain't dealing with him.
God.
Because that face represents the Lord's wisdom and knowledge.
God.
That face that's going to shine is really signed upon Israel.
God.
So he doesn't have any,
God.
he knows, and that's why he's on the run. He's scared.
God.
Going back to the birthright.
Yeah.
Right?
And going back to the scripture you quoted about, deceive and deceiver is.
Yeah.
Right? So, we know what the Lord used to corrupt him, that person who he is, the wicked. Corrupt him and expose him at the same time.
That's right.
But anyway, go ahead.
Scripture, this is Genesis 4, and I'll start at 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch, and he builded a city.
Before you go, brother, if this was just Adam and Eve, and Cain and Abel.
Where's his wife at?
Where did he get the wife from? So see, that cuts you, damn idiot Christian talk about this guy who man. Listen, man, the man here when I got a wife, man, and knew her doesn't mean like hey, what's her name? He knew her, that means he went in onto her, man.
Yeah.
Right? That's sex.
Con.
All right. Oh, he said sex. It's like,
That's why people, back in the day, they used to be like, oh, you know her? Oh, you know. People want to know, oh, so how you know her?
God.
Yeah.
People be, oh, how you know her?
Yeah.
How you know her?
Beat it up. Okay, it's like brother.
And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived him, Enoch, and he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad. Irad begat Mehajuel, and Mehajuel begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech. So this is that wicked root again, right? Same way when you go into First Maccabees. Yeah, there's a wicked root. This is the wicked root that came out of Cain.
Yes.
And Lamech took unto his wives.
The 2 wives.
Yeah, 2 wives.
Yeah.
The name of one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. And Ada bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. So he was rich.
Yeah, right.
And his brother name was Jubal. He was the father of all such of the handle of harp and organ, so music, clubbing, whatever, And Zillah, she also bare Tubal Cain.
Oh.
Huh.
Which means traveling
Dagger.
weapon or dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. So through Tubal Cain, that's where the weapons, right? The weapons and mass destruction through this damn devil. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Nahama.
Which all of that is just alchemy.
Khan.
Yeah.
On the
Yes.
left-hand side. So that's science, witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Smith.
Teeman.
Yep.
That's the spirit. I was just going to go into that. Yeah.
Yep.
John Dean.
Yeah, Khan. And Lamech said unto his wives, that's how you know this man is wicked, right? This is that root. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. So this nigga's bragging about spilling blood, right? If Cain be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. So he knew about that hedge that the Most High had around his grandfather, right? So
Cain.
so now Esau knows that too. The whole world can't touch this man. So now through the prophets of the Lord, he's being made bare. That's the reason why the brother said he's backed into a corner. When you back a dog into a corner, there's only one thing he can do, which is bite back, man. And that's what he's doing now by shutting down the internet, deleting brother's channel, right?
Fulfilling prophecy.
Fulfilling
Continue.
prophecies,
Yeah.
the water. And Adam knew his, that was it. That was it, yeah. That was it, main thing, yeah. Yeah, that was it.
He's in straits right now, man. Because over in there was a crazy white man in Guelph, which you don't really hear anything. That's Esau's neck of the woods. The man held hostage people in their house, in the one house he was in, and then he let only one out, and they brought they call him was it the crisis team, which is really SWAT. When it comes to crisis, or whatever, but it's like Esau like to supplant people, tried to, but I don't know. I think the guy went out with the gun in his hand. But that's the position that Esau's in right now, man. Right? Can't handle it. Once pressure starts being applied, the guy he bursts.
That's why you
Watch when the stock markets crash.
Yep. This nigga's gonna jump out of buildings, man. It's the same thing when his birthright got taken away, he wept. Like a little bitch, man.
Yeah.
Sure. Weak ass heart.
Is that it for Job in that precept? It's pretty much recovered. We can go into, well, actually I got another precept in Job that's going to go into his really end.
Do it.
Right. So this is Job 21 and 17. So it says, "All oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them. Yahweh, our power, distributed sorrows in his anger. Can you,
So the
find word
sand-
oft?
Off.
Sand in the,
O-F-T.
Often.
in the,
It's
in
often.
the
Well,
glass
look it up
is
in the-
actually running out, man. You know.
Okay, so oft it means
Just the word oft. Go ahead.
repeatedly, again and again, many times, frequently, under many circumstances.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what it means.
beautiful. Okay, go ahead, brother. Can you just mention what you just mentioned again?
Well, I was saying that basically the sand in the glass is running out. The time is you know, it's burning out. Like a candle doesn't last forever.
Exactly.
That's
It
right.
burns up. The wax, you
yeah,
know,
that's
the wick actually burns up.
Mhm.
Right?
Which is the light,
Yeah.
and then the candle is useless. The candle is actually useless. But even if it's the same thing you're saying in it's almost parabolic, because if you could keep that light on that candle, the candle's gonna burn out.
Yeah.
So that's what the Lord's gonna do. But if you notice what it says this, right? So the light is gonna go out, and then the candle is gonna be destroyed.
Yeah.
All right? You got it? You got
Yeah,
it?
we're
You
back.
got
We're
it.
back.
Bring it out, brother.
This is Job 18
Bring it out.
and 5. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. And it goes on and on. That's the back here.
So
Right,
he's
so-
not, he's not getting his shine, man. So he's not gonna be, you know, he's not gonna be empowered no more. Because he's already dwelling out. Look, like this is a kingdom of miry clay and iron.
Yes, the clay is debt. It's a detonation.
There's no gold here.
Great prophecy.
Well, the abundance of gold is not here. Everything is over in with the Rothschilds. It's with the upper elite.
To the bottomless pit, waiting for
That's
us
right.
to take it.
To take it.
If it started up a bit earlier, when he said how oft, is that Job asked a question, and Job also it is representing Israel, so we're asking like how often, you know, how often is a wicked put out, and it's never. You know, they always get away with stuff.
Yeah.
So if you read up to like 13, it said they spent